I drank this all during lunch.
That's all you drank.
Yeah. Plus, I had oatmeal, and that's like half of that is water.
Where did you eat your oatmeal?
I literally brought it with me into the Taco Bell and ate my oatmeal there.
They
Because
allowed you to?
Dang. No one cares at Taco Bell. I already packed my lunch. I'm like, I'm not gonna waste it. And then I was like, watching everyone else eat their food, and I was like, I really want a taco right now.
You could have gotten one taco with it.
Try
Yeah.
that.
I should.
You should try throwing it like that. It's actually really fun.
Okay, number 2.
The way it's
Find dy dx. X cubed plus y cubed equals 18xy.
My teacher's there. They urged me to do that.
Okay, so when we take the derivative, and now we don't just take like the derivative of x, we're also taking the derivative of y, which in a sense we were doing before, because we would technically say the derivative of y was like y prime, or we would say dy dx, which technically is taking the derivative of it. Now we're doing it like throughout the whole problem and then getting essentially y prime by itself. So it says to find dy dx, find y prime, because I use y prime to shorten it to make it not so crazy. So derivative of x cubed is
3x squared.
3x squared. Now, the difference here, when we do it of y, because we're taking the derivative with respect to x, is we take it, first of all, just like we would take x, so it's going to be 3y squared. But it's being multiplied by y prime. So that's the implicit part. Is equal to, over here we've got a chain rule, or not a chain rule, a product rule happening. So I'm just going to say that the 18 is attached to the x because it's the thing that it's the closest to, and we'll just roll with it that way. So, derivative of the first thing, so that's going to be 18 times y plus the first 18x times the derivative of y. Well, the derivative of just x by itself is 1. Okay, the derivative of y by itself would be 1 times y prime, so I usually just say y prime. So the derivative of the right side is 18y plus 18xy prime. Now, I need to get any of the terms with a y prime in them on the left side and anything else on the right. So I'm going to have 3y squared y prime minus 18xy prime equals 18y minus 3x squared. I'm going to factor out a y prime. So I get y prime times 3y squared minus 18x equals 18y minus 3x squared. Divide by that, so y prime equals, I'm going to go ahead and factor a 3 out so I can save a step of writing. So 3 times 6y minus x squared over 3 times y squared minus 6x. So then my final answer, y prime equals, it doesn't matter what order you write it in, 6y minus x squared over y squared minus 6x. And there you have solved for dy dx, aka y prime. All right, number 4. x squared equals x minus y over x plus y. So basically, your clue to know when you need to do implicit differentiation is when you don't have a y by itself, like completely by itself, and you have them like throughout the problem, essentially. So derivative of x squared is 2x equals, I now have a quotient rule on this side. Now, if you had wanted to avoid the quotient rule potentially, then we could have also multiplied x squared by this. So, do we want to avoid the quotient rule or do you want to do the quotient rule?
Avoid it,
I kind of want to see how we would do the quotient rule with this.
I guess.
Okay.
Just
So,
we know.
derivative of the top is
1 minus y prime.
yes. So then times the bottom, which is x plus y, minus the top, x minus y, times the derivative of the bottom, 1 plus y prime, all over x plus y squared. Doing this as a quotient rule is going to make this problem so much longer.
Yeah, but at least we see what it does.
I wouldn't normally do a quotient rule, to be completely honest. I would have multiplied.
I would too, but I was curious.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and multiply this over so I don't have to keep writing a fraction at this point. So 2x times x plus y squared equals, oh boy, x plus y plus, nope, minus xy prime minus yy prime minus bracket x plus xy prime minus y minus y prime. So then I've got x minus x, which is going away, y plus y would be 2y minus xy minus xy prime minus xy prime would be negative 2xy prime, and then negative yy prime minus a negative yy prime, that would be plus, that's gone. So then divide by, nope, not divide, subtract first, right? This doesn't have a y prime. I'm not missing something, right? No. Okay. So 2x times x plus y squared minus 2y. I'm going to go ahead and divide by negative 2x because I can. Equals y prime. Then I can factor a 2 out of everything. I'm just going to essentially cancel the 2 everywhere instead of factoring it out and then canceling it, because this is already a long problem. So I end up with x times x plus y squared minus y over negative x equals y prime. Which you can either leave it here, or the book is going to take this answer and go to, they're going to put this like over each, like split it into 2 separate fractions. So you would end up with negative x plus y squared plus y over x equals y prime. So either of those things would be fine for how to write it if you want to leave it as one whole thing or split it up. All right. Number 6. X equals the sine of y. So this is going to be 1 equals. Now, when we have a y inside of a trig function, we have to treat it like a chain rule. Okay. So what is the derivative of sine?
Cosine.
Yep. So this is going to be cosine of y, and then the derivative of y is y prime. So then we just divide by cosine of y. Y prime equals 1 over the cosine of y. So that one wasn't as bad.
So would that be the same as the secant of y? Oh.
I don't know which way the book writes it. Do they leave it or do they change it? Yeah, they change it. So we could change it to secant of y if you were so inclined. If you left it, I would probably also just take it that way because it could be that way. Either way's fine.
Sine, cosine, secant.
All right, 8. X plus sine of y equals x times y. See if y'all can tell me what to do on this one.
Be 1 plus y prime cosine of y is equal to y prime. Oh, it's the
Y
product
plus x,
rule.
y prime?
What'd you say, Josh?
Y plus x, y prime?
Yep, y plus xy prime.
I always forget about that.
So anytime you have this is kind of like when we had those equations like all the way back to algebra 2 where you had like, you know, a y on both sides and it was like being, you know, moved around and you had to like move the stuff over and factor it out. Now it's just y prime. So this is like once you get to this step, this is like back to algebra 2, like moving stuff around essentially. So I've got y prime cosine y minus...
Algebra 1 students try to move the stuff around with this.
Yeah, right. Minus xy prime equals y minus 1. Factor out a y prime. Left with cosine y minus x equals y minus 1. Divide y prime equals y minus 1 over cosine y minus x. All right, find dy dx and find the slope of the curve at the indicated point. So 10, I've got x squared plus y squared equals 13. And the point that they give me is negative, nope, I lied. It's equal to 9. I'm reading the wrong problem. X squared plus y squared equals 9, and then the point is 0, 3. So I am finding the slope of the curve. So I have to first find dy dx, then I'm going to plug in the point and find the slope. So, side note, what's this an equation of?
A circle.
A circle. So when you take the derivative of it, what's the derivative?
Um, 2x plus 2y prime equals 0.
Yep. And we want to get y prime by itself, so I'm going to move the 2x over and divide by 2y. I'm going to do that all in one step. So y prime equals negative 2x over 2y. 2's cancel. So y prime equals negative x over y. So now I just take these numbers here for x and y and plug them in. So y prime equals 0 over 3. So that's equal to 0. So that is the slope at the point. All right, so this is a circle in standard form.
I don't like where you're going with this.
X plus 2 squared plus y plus 3 squared equals 25. This is a circle in center radius form, which means we have more work to do. And the point on this one is 1, negative 7. All right, we gotta take the derivative. What are these? Chain rules. So, what's the derivative of this first one?
Wait.
2 times x plus 2.
And then obviously this one's kind of an easy quote-unquote chain rule because the derivative of x inside is just 1. So don't have to worry about that one. The second part would be a little bit more. What's the derivative of this one?
2 times y plus 3 times y prime.
Yep. Equals 0. Move stuff over and divide. So y prime equals negative 2 times x plus 2 over 2 times y plus 3. Twos cancel. So then plug in your point. Y prime equals, don't forget the negative out here, so negative times 1 plus 2 over negative 7 plus 3. So it's at negative 3 over negative 4. So 3 over 4. There's your slope. Find where the slope of the curve is defined. So x equals the cosine of y. So we need to take the derivative. What is the derivative of this?
Say 1 equals negative y prime sine of y.
Yep. So I'm going to divide by negative sine of y.
Hello?
Hi.
Hi.
How's it going?
I know, isn't it crazy? I have not, but I also don't know where they would have been coming from. But if it was in her backpack where it was supposed to be, this wouldn't be a problem.
What is Nick? Or what is 1/4 to the 1/8 or to the 1/2?
1/4. I think that's. I'd say 1/2.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen it. I'll keep an eye out, but I haven't seen anything. Or heard anyone else say that they found one, so. Yeah. It's fine.
Yes. I think I'm mistaken.
Okay, I will. Bye. Gotta love it.
What happened?
Somebody's missing a phone.
Oh, nice.
I'm like, well, if they didn't have it out like they're supposed to, it wouldn't be lost.
Yeah.
Who lost the phone?
The same person who was in here with being smart with me yesterday.
Did you stay for that, Josh? Because I walked out of the room and I was like, darn, I should have stayed.
Yeah, she seemed too accepting of it.
Really?
Yeah, she was like, okay.
But then the follow-up was, I shouldn't be the only one getting this.
Yeah.
And I was like, but,
I mean,
okay.
with that attitude, you should be.
All right, that's why prime, but I need to know where the slope of this curve is defined. So essentially, what values are going to cause a problem here? AKA, where's the denominator 0? When is sine 0?
0 and pi.
Yes. So it's defined everywhere except for increments of pi, basically. Because technically 0 pi is an increment of pi, so. So it's defined at every point except where y equals k pi, where k is an integer.
Hi, Miss Stacy. Did anyone turn a phone into you? Because I lost my phone.
I have not heard of anyone having one yet.
Okay, thank you.
But yep.
Oh my gosh, Penelope.
I couldn't look.
It's fine. Everything is fine.
I feel like my kind of brain would be a little insulted.
Genuinely haven't seen one, so I couldn't tell you. People also don't typically bring that stuff to me. X squared plus 4xy plus 4y squared minus 3x equals 6. He didn't honk this time.
He was too busy throwing stuff at me. He threw a water bottle at me and it bounced perfectly off my head.
Don't hit her again.
Yeah.
You get demerits if it hits you her
I
again.
hope to get it in there. I would laugh so hard. He'd be like accepting of it too. He'd be like, okay.
You're like, I did it.
But not just like, okay.
What if he just started sobbing?
You're like, well, I shouldn't be the only one that gets one.
No, I'm not
He'd
that.
probably be like, I can't help that her head was in the way. That's how you try to argue it. I'm
No,
taking
I
the
was
last sip.
actually kind of.
Look at her go. All right, what's the derivative? We're still finding where it's defined.
I got this, Josh.
Blah, 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 blah.
2x plus 4y prime
No. Product rule.
Oh, darn it!
Oh, that's really stupid. I mean, I would have gone with 4y prime too, so.
Yeah. Okay, wait, let me
Yeah.
think.
Don't think. Stop.
So you took the derivative of the first piece, that's 4.
Plus 4, now
What's the product rule say?
To do products and rules.
Well, okay, we're doing the product rule a little bit backwards, but u prime v plus u v prime.
So like what, 4y plus 4xy prime?
Yes.
Okay. So that was reasonable.
plus 8 y prime.
Y prime.
y prime.
I forgot. It's messing with my head. Minus 3
Oh, you sure it was?
equals 0. Yeah, you threw me off my game.
What?
Hey, I've been answering a lot of the questions lately.
Yeah.
For you, because you don't know the answers.
Virginia has this under control.
I got this under control.
Well, you didn't have.
All right. Just to make this easier, in one step, I'm going to move everything that doesn't have a y prime over, and I'm going to factor out the y prime. So on this side, I'm left with y prime times 4x plus 8y equals, moving everything over, negative 2x minus 4y plus 3. Then divide. What? Oh, never mind. Disregard. Y prime equals negative 2x minus 4y plus 3 over 4x plus 8y. Now, I need to know where this is defined. What do you think I might need to do?
Is the bottom equal to 0?
Yep. Set the bottom equal to 0. So 4x plus 8y
Or these.
equals 0. And then what?
The divide.
So y equals 4x over 8. Negative 4x over 8. So y equals negative 1/2 x. So this one's a little different than the last one. It is defined everywhere but here. So basically when negative 1/2 x equals y, we have a problem. Find lines that are tangent and normal to the curve at the given point. X squared plus y squared equals 25 at the point 3, negative 4. It's a derivative.
2x plus 2y prime equals 0.
Yep. So then y prime equals negative 2x over 2y. Y prime equals negative x over y. Plug in our numbers. So I get negative 3 over negative 4, which is just 3 over 4. So this is the slope of the tangent. So how do I write my equation of my tangent line?
Y plus 4 is equal to 3/4 times x minus 3.
Yep. If you wanted to leave it there, you could. If you want to keep going, we would get y equals 3/4 x minus 9 over 4 minus 16 over 4. I did one like this the other day in a different class. They went, "Where'd you get 16 over 4 from?" I was like,
How'd you get into this class?
so y equals 3/4 x minus, was that 25 over 4?
Little did they know. It's just a bunch of eyes.
All right, then I need to do the normal. Whoa, come back. What is the slope of the normal? Yep. So the only thing that's different is the slope. So y plus 4 equals negative 4 over 3 times x minus 3. So y equals negative 4 over 3x plus 4 minus 4. So y equals negative 4 over 3x. Do y'all have a government quiz today?
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm going to stop there because this next problem's kind of long.
Uh,
We should be able to finish all this on Monday, so we don't need to do any of this next hour.